Many of the things that I tell you, that I share with you, have to do with numbers, because numbers, in reality, are the most perfect language in all of creation, each relating to specific emotions, ideas, and so forth. 7, of course, is a master number, in the sense that it is a mystical number. You are aware of other master numbers, and we will speak of those at another time. But the sevenfold blessing is a 7-step process. At this time, I wish to speak of 3 of those steps. The first having to do with longing/awareness, the second having to do with the true purpose of life, and the third with methods of seeking. On several occasions, we have spoken of the beginning as it pertained to the human consciousness and in relation to the soul, pure spirit, and core beings, which, for this plane of existence, is humanity. Because pure spirit, as the father of the soul, became so enamored of the feelings, the emotions that are a primary part of the experience of this plane, there was a loss of memory. We speak of the loss of memory as simply a way of explaining what occurred. By becoming so involved and preoccupied with the delight on this plane, the more essential aspects of development, for a period of time, were not of the greatest priority. That is all well and good. No judgment is placed upon that, or anything else for that matter. In that process, we come to the development, as we say, of the 2 great civilizations. These 2 civilizations became the focus for all humanity, each civilization having different directions, one dealing with an understanding of Earth and its elements, the other dealing with the Earth as a source of raw material to advance its own technology. So, there were 2 totally different concepts of the Earth and how it was to be utilized. As these 2 civilizations developed, there was a common ground within their philosophy that persists today, and we will bring that to the present time. There was a realization, or dawning, on humanity that, while this plane of existence offered a tremendous opportunity for expansion and so forth, of understanding, there still was an element within their being that seemed to be a void. This void became a longing/awareness that there was more to the Earth. There was more to this plane of existence at that time. There was the desire to be more connected with life. First part, first step. The second step for both civilizations was the realization in their quest that there must be an ultimate purpose to life. They did not take life for granted. They realized that there was a design. This then developed into the second step, which was the acquiring of knowledge. Now, keep in mind that both of these civilizations were highly developed. One has a tendency to think that because something occurred 30,000 to 36,000 years ago, these were primitive people, and that the present is the most advanced culture. Don't fall into that trap. If you do, you're doomed to follow bad examples from your past. So, it was essential to acquire that knowledge, which is the true purpose of life. Both of the civilizations got sidetracked again. In the exploration of the Lemurians, concerning the elements, there was a disruption of the natural order, and they became engrossed in the combining of the elements, creating a chain reaction, in many ways, that set the stage for the demise of their civilization. Atlantis, realizing the same thing, in a sense, that through their ruthless development of the resources, of the abundance of the earth, they developed technology that was their downfall by abusing that which they had created. The third step is methods of seeking that knowledge of oneness with the creative source. So it had begun. One civilization, that of Lemuria, sought to find knowledge and return, or remember, even today you call it returning, to the source. It is not returning, as you never left. You simply forgot where you were. But they called it returning also. In their desire to return, using their term, to the source, they used a method in seeking that oneness. Their method was to understand the source through the 7 elements, to explore and understand all of those elements. The second civilization, Atlantis, realizing the same 3 steps, sought to utilize the earth, its abundance, and the seven elements as a resource to develop other things through technology, to explore the soul and contact the creative source. So humanity began with very firm footing, and rather than moving forward, digressed and created more chaos for itself. Now again, no judgment can be placed upon these civilizations, as that was their choosing. It had to do with what we have mentioned before, that because the soul felt, or had forgotten, its knowledge of the creative source, it obviously must have done something wrong. Therefore, it was in error, and thus the beginning of the conscious setting of blame, the artificial manufacture of guilt that today permeates everything that you do, unfortunately, and casts a pall upon all of your actions, and along with this, creates barriers to understanding yourself and your connection with the creative source. In each time, when the earth has moved forward in its development, in its understanding, using the same 7 steps over and over again, it would reach a number, perhaps to the 6th level, and then somehow sabotage itself. Why? Because of that manufacture of blame, finding fault, guilt. It is not a reality for the creative source. It is reality in a secondary way. That is, humanity has created it. Therefore it does exist, but it is not of primary source with that core of creativity. We might make note here that you will find we have been asked many times, and we explained this to a certain degree, concerning old and new souls, which is a terribly erroneous labeling because, as we said, all souls were created simultaneously. An old soul is simply a soul that has chosen to be a part of this expression of life, this level, many times. A new soul is simply a soul that is new to this experience, this expression of existence. That's the only difference. It has nothing to do with chronological order. If you wish to know which souls are new and which souls are old to this level of expression, it is actually quite easy. The new souls are the ones that are totally enamored of this life, those who are captivated by all that this world holds. They are like children at Christmas time. They are the ones that find such passion in having a particular job, career, or a new home, or a new car, the ladder climbers and so forth, who live life in an intense way, dealing on what many people think of as a mundane level. Again, make no judgment on these souls. They are learning, they are experiencing, they are exploring, they are doing exactly as they should. The old souls are those who say, yes, that is all well and good, and there is more to life. While I must be involved to a particular degree because I am here on this level of existence, while I wish to acquire and be a part of the abundance, I also know there is more. Each of you has come to that point, or you would not be here. Interesting, isn't it? You've all been classified as old souls. Perhaps we should give out diplomas. So, throughout history, that is, your understanding of the linear spectacle of history, humanity has time and time again climbed those 7 steps, not realizing the blessing involved. Now, rather than give a tremendously long history lesson, which could be quite boring, let us look at the present time in your own lives. Think for yourselves. The 7-fold blessing. Zoroaster reveals the 7 steps humanity follows in order to achieve total fulfillment/total oneness. These steps, initiated by the ancient civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria, are the same steps seekers follow today in order to realize oneness with the creative source.